Coming up on Mountain News this morning, will high school sports be able to restart in the fall? Hear what officials have to say. And here in Perry County, one tattoo artist is using his work to host a unique fundraiser to help a friend who recently lost his home in a fire.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Lacey Roberts, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Today is Wednesday, July 7th, or like we like to call it around here, Hump Day. We've made it through halfway through the week, but those temperatures are still going to be nice and hot. And let's bring in Brandon Robinson to see if we're still having those visibility issues that we were speaking of earlier. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Lacey. Those two words you just put together, nice and hot. Not for me, but you're right. Still visibility issues, still seeing that dense fog. Prestonsburg, Pikeville, basically zero visibility. Middlesboro in that range there too. So again, be extra careful as you head out and about this morning. We've been seeing that almost every morning this week, and we'll continue to do so outside WYMT. It is very foggy this morning, so we're going to continue to watch that throughout the morning hours toward mid-morning temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. 170-degree reading there at Moorhead. 64 in Hazard is the cool spot this morning in our region. Your out-the-door forecast, we are going to continue to see chances for scattered showers and storms, especially in the heat of the day. Now I've got the forecast high for 89, but if we see less cloud cover, it could push into the 90s today. So again, another hot and humid day ahead. I'll have the rest of the forecast in just a few minutes. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. After a Perry County man lost his home, one big question around the Commonwealth right now is if and when high school sports will happen this fall. On Tuesday morning, KHSAA Commissioner Julian Tackett spoke to the Interim Joint Committee on Education about the reopening of high school athletics. Overall, his message was positive, saying he is more optimistic than he was a couple of weeks ago, stressing the importance of athletics on high school dropout rates.
There's obviously perceived and likely real risk of participation in extracurricular athletics. But we are also, in very many communities, the #1 dropout prevention tool that you have. And there are people in our communities that every one of you know would not be participating if there was not an athletics or activities opportunity.
The KHSAA Board of Controls will meet on Friday to discuss what high school athletics might look like in the upcoming weeks. And although high school football practices are in full swing, there are still concerns about players and coaches getting COVID-19. Yesterday, Hazard High School announced that one of their student athletes tested positive for the virus. The school says they immediately contacted the Kentucky River District Health Department. Principal Happy Mobilini says they will move forward with their athletic schedules.
After meeting with officials from CRAD and discussing our current procedures utilized for summer athletic workouts, we're advised to closely monitor other student athletes for symptoms. We were informed that there is a low risk for transmission to other team members. We will continue to follow all recommendations for KRDHD to ensure that all coaches and student athletes remain safe and healthy.
Commissioner Julian Tackett says the KHSAA plan was designed for these things to happen so that it is up to each school and health departments to resume or pause athletics after a positive COVID-19 case. And the University of Louisville men's basketball team is suspending voluntary activities after positive COVID-19 tests. 2 of the members tested positive, leading to the decision to suspend activities for 2 weeks. It is not clear if the member who tested positive are players or staff. A U of L spokesperson said that all proper procedures and protocols were followed, and they hope to resume the men's basketball activities in the near future. And Kentucky Speedway will host 5 NASCAR sanctioned races tomorrow through Sunday. But of course, these races will be without fans. For one man in London, he has attended the race in the past because the track is so close. Nate Broughton has attended the Kentucky NASCAR race 3 times, including the first race when he was 11 years old. Broughton has collected NASCAR die-cast cars and memorabilia for years. He collects race-win versions of cars of the races that he has attended. Unfortunately, this year, the race will go on without him.
I definitely would love to have went up there. It's sad that this whole pandemic and stuff is keeping people from going to that, but we have to stay safe and stuff. So I understand why, but definitely a bummer that I won't be able to go up there this year. So.
Get cars too.
Okay.
Gosh, that thing is freaking.
While quarantine has hurt Broughton from seeing live racing, the NASCAR fanatic has used his spare time to still get his fill of the hobby. Broughton has built tracks in his basement to create stop-motion races. And after a Perry County man lost his home to a fire last week, one local tattoo shop owner is stepping up to help. But this isn't your typical fundraiser. I talked with the man behind the unique fundraiser to learn more. You're looking at what is left of Roy Combs' home. It caught fire Friday evening around 11 p.m., quickly spreading out of control.
At that point, it became, instead of trying to save the house, it was let's save the houses next door.
A situation no one thinks would happen to them.
Yeah, total loss.
But that fire ended up leading to a fundraiser from a friendship he never expected to blossom.
And see him from time to time, go in there shopping. And that's kind of how we got to know each other.
Draven Gayhard is the owner of Lost Gypsy Tattoo in downtown Hazard.
First time I met him, he had a big smile on his face, and every time I saw him after that, he still did.
It doesn't surprise me one bit that he is the one that is putting together this.
This, a fundraiser selling a custom-made flash sheet.
Flasher designs that you see on the walls of tattoo establishments, they're pre-drawn designs, and essentially you pick it and stick it. Get it in a flash.
Gayhard's flash sheet, unofficially named The Legends of Perry County.
Larry Love, who is a local legend. He's a legend. He sells papers here, actually right out in front of the shop. Can't have a Perry County sheet without the Mother Goose. And I decided to have prints of this design made and sell those at $20 a piece.
Covering all production and shipping costs out of his own pocket.
But it pales into comparison to what Roy's lost.
Topping sales at $700 in less than 24 hours. Combs overcome with emotion.
Very humble because the amount of support that I've seen, I mean, it's been wow. Just toothbrush and toothpaste and washcloths and towels and soap, deodorant, starting off from the beginning. You just can't go and get something now. It's all gone.
Finding peace and knowing not only a community, but a new lifelong friend is there to lean on. In Hazard, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News. And if you would like to buy a flash sheet, Lost Gypsy Tattoo is accepting cash, Facebook Messenger Pay, and PayPal. All of those proceeds, 100% of what is made, will go to Roy Combs, and you can find more information on our website. Friends and family are remembering a Floyd County woman killed in a crash. 21-year-old Allie Davis died after losing control of her car on Interstate 75 in Boone County. She was an actress and singer from Prestonsburg who was involved in her community's art programs. Folks in Floyd County say it's not just her stage presence that keeps her legacy alive.
She was humble, always thinking she could do better, she could be better. But in the same sense, she was always trying to pick the person up that was on the ground too, which is what made her so unique.
That devotion to others has been shared by people all over social media, including State Representative Charles Booker, who shared a photo from the Prestonsburg Black Lives Matter event, calling Allie a brilliant leader who loved Kentucky. Allie was a senior musical theater student at Northern Kentucky University. The program said in a Facebook post that Allie represents the best in all of us.